My name's Guy Kestevan. I've been a professional bike and kit tester for over 25 years. And today, I'm up at the Dales Bike Centre for the Struggle Borderlands event on the brand new Santa Cruz Stigmata in its most radical Force 1 by Axis reserve wheel specs. Everyone's rolling in, signing on.
Put this on, let's do this.
Getting their breakfast. Stewie and Brenda on duty. See you later, Glenn. Stewie and Brenda on duty at Dales Bike Centre again. If you've never been here, such a great place. You've got Scott and Rab representing out there. Look at that weather. Crew are together. The banter is flowing. They all got the green memo, even though there never was a green memo. So it's looking good. Mixed bag. Grinds on my chisel.
Do you want to do this or?
Old Stigs. Specialised crooks. You've got Niners. Bobbins on his... what's that underneath? It's an old Giant, isn't it, Bobbin? And we're off. Out the bike centre.
Straight out.
Straight onto the 100k route. First bit of single track gravel along the old Coffin Road. Up to Kelb, or as it's known now, the Swale Trail. Oh, it's bunching. Bit of road up to Maiden Castle, the old Iron Age hill fort. Yeah, if you want a historical version of this route, by the way, check out the pedalling past. Check out the route we did around Sweardale on my pedalling past channel. And now, back onto the gravel, back into the headwind. So, unlock that fork. Not the most convenient lockout lever, very flat. I'll get used to it. One thing that's obvious straight away on this spec is that they stayed with the 1044 Explorer cassette when, kind of surprised, they haven't gone mullet with a 1051, because that'd definitely be more pleasant up grunts like this. If you've got the dropper and the fork and everything else, you may as well go full MTB. You still got a 40 up front, so still have a good gear range. Not a bad view, eh? Swaledale up to Gunnerside and the lunch stop. Helo over there. I'm going to be going back through there and up the hill. So, just having a screw snack stop. Crew snack stop even. First proper descent into Eighedale. Got my dropper down now. Ruby's doing its thing up front. Oh, Sam. Sam may have a pneumatic issue there. On your right, mate. Cheers. Oh, look at that view. The better for every brakes in. Literally box fresh this bike, as you'll know. There is a build-up video on the channel if you want to dig into that. There's a man with a red flag. Danger. Descent may contain mild peril. Oh, this should be the death by concrete section they were on about. They do this in the Dales every now and again, just for traction on 4x4s in the winter. Now then, on your right hand side, please. Oh, this is, God, I have not ridden this in ages. just flows on for many particularly lovely miles. I have to say that extra little bit of suspension, length and steering stability really is noticeable. Not just on descents like that last one, but when you're hauling along hardback with a tailwind, we're doing 45 clicks. The stick feels solid as a rock. You! And those internal sleeves keeping everything nice and quiet as well. Happy days. So in terms of that winning gravel geometry, what we're talking about is a 69.5 degree head angle, so definitely into old school XC territory. And all the bikes are longer than they used to be as well. But that was a lousy line. You still need to concentrate on what you're doing on 45s, even with progressive geometry and suspension. But those reserve wheels add a nice bit of compliance and damping as well. You know, they're not deep section air or anything. They're a standard kind of gutter shape. They deliberately kept them low. So while they're not great in terms of drag, they are great in terms of grip, control and a bit more comfort. This is where drop bars and narrow tyres makes sense over a mountain bike, although I'm saying that.
I was about to say, he's
It is,
yeah.
it is Ryan on the chisel, setting the pace on the front, obviously. Into the feed stop, gunner side, 40k in. I have to say, on the descents, this feels fantastic. It's steady on the climbs because the extra weight. And the gears are quite heavy, but apart from that, really looking after me on the loose. Even on the road descents as well. Back on the coffin trail again. That smoothness and damping really coming in. Adds more connection and confidence on these descents. But I would say, perhaps inevitably, it does take a bit of the kick out of this bike on little punchy climbs. Even with the fork locked out, it feels soft rather than sharp under power. Whereas the old Stig used to definitely have more of a snappy, racy vibe to it in both incarnations. Because, you know, it was a double duty bike, it wasn't just a gravel bike, it was a cyclocross bike as well. Literally on top of the world now. Surrender more. Great pin seat. See just up there is stage 3 of Hardrock Enduro start, so proper up in the miles now. It was a fairly grueling climb to get up here. Now we're spinning along top cock, big tailwind. That definitely feels like it was worth it. And unsurprisingly, reminds me a lot of that Mondraker Dusty XR gravel bike, which has a similar geometry. That's an e-bike, so a bit more planting than this, but on the flip side, more weight going through those tyres. And normally, I get really nervy about properly high speeds on a gravel bike, but this does feel pretty secure. You can actually lean it a bit, which is rare on the drop bar off-roader. Normally you're a bit uptight, sketchy on them. Oh, bit of gusting. And again, that's good not to have a deep section. Not getting concerned about that. You know, keeping up with the mountain bikes here. This is where that dropper really helps. Not just with the fact you can get your weight down, but it's a little bit more aero as well. Side foot, right going to the inside. And sliding the renegades there. Whoa! Whoa! You alright? Oh, mate! And at this point, it's nice knowing I've got all my spares, CO2, my inner tubes and my pump safely tucked away inside in the down tube. Nice demonstration of how much more stable this generation Stigmata is through the corner than Tonti on the previous one there. A bit more length. So half an hour, I don't really know much about it in terms of layout. I remember for the launch of the last Stig, they were talking about, you know, how bits of it were off the blur, other bits. Fork tech actually came off Danny McCaskill's trials bike, but they haven't given out that sort of intel on this one. It's been more about the geometry and the storage and things like that, but I needn't have worried about that mega oversized down tube making it feel overly stiff. It still feels pretty good, even with that reverb dropper in. Because although it's nice and bouncy, have I said this already? I think I might have done. Although it's nice and bouncy when it's slightly dropped, when it's fully extended, it's actually very rigid. So I think inevitably there's going to be like a two-parter, this ride introduction. I mean, I can give a review on this as it stands, as this spec stands, but I'm really keen to ride this great bike with the conventional post and its conventional fork as well. Until you've done that, you don't really know how much this fork is contributing to how smooth and safe it feels up front. But I know, you know, I do know it made a big difference the last time I stuck a Rudy on the front of a Stig when they launched the fork. But I have to say, if you're looking for a proper challenge gravel event with some incredible views, this Borderlands event is absolutely stunning. First year it's been run relatively low key, but Matt and Vicky run a super tight ship on events, make them run super slick. You know, I've even got these little RAB restrapped, recycled recycled bar bags on the front, and they normally retail for 50 quid, so in terms of event merch, that's pretty impressive. So get yourself signed up, because I think it's going to be, when people see the footage, the videos and the race reports from this year, I I think it's going to be super popular next year. Certainly deserves to be. Such a brilliant place to run a gravel event. And if you're really keen, you can double dip with the road event the day before. Plus, if you don't want to do the full 100k like we're doing, you can just do the 50k, which is basically rolls back in after the feed station. But you're definitely missing out. I mean, you're missing out on some long old climbs, but you're also missing out on some beautiful long flowing descents like this one. This is where the toolkit demo comes in handy. So you got a neoprene sleeve that slides in the bottom. It's easy doing this with two hands.
Guy's got a stabber. I don't know. I'll try and stab it. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you get the idea. Yeah, these ramblers aren't the fastest on the road. Well, they're certainly nice and sure-footed. Which, when you can't really see in dappled light like this, it's a definite advantage. And again, that handling just really makes descending relaxing. Ah, beautiful part of the world this. Probably never find it on your own though. But I should say, a lot of the tracks we've ridden today are not normally legal riding. They've been specially negotiated access by Stewie and the Struggle team, so don't try working out where we went or asking me for the route. Just sign up for Struggle next year. This is absolutely stunning out here. Look at that. Secret Swaledale. Oh, my legs have been feeling like a lava lamp. That weird kind of fluid motion of acid and agony swirling around in them for about 50k. It's a hot day for September in Swaledale, but I think that means there's not far to go now. Maybe one more big climb and then roll back into Dale's Bike Centre. Yeah, this is on. Right, Stewie warned us about the drainage ditches on the other side down here. But it's a proper scale electric slot racing setup is this. And some cobbles ended under the grass by the feel of it, so I have to say I have been glad of this Rudy Fork so far. And on sections like this, part of the dropper too. This has been an ideal first ride for this bike, but I'll make sure I'll do a little tech talk around and get back to Dale Bike Centre. So, like I say, I've done an unboxing where you can really see the detail of it, but I'll discuss stuff you haven't been able to see from the bar view. Just for this section. Oh, I've got a fender on me Rudy. Oh, they've put out the green carpet for us. Not the red carpet, but not so bad. Hey up, dog. Might be a bit spattery after that bit of descent, but you know. Just do some close-ups. At the finish. Oh, it shouldn't be too far away now. 97k in the back. Job done. John in Ryan. The remainers. Cheers. A few of them left us behind. And we left a few others behind. There we are. Dead from Rab. Cheers! Got me finisher's mug. Got me finisher's mug. Got me cold bath zero beer. That was an absolutely cracking day out. So I'm just going to get some food down my neck, and then we'll come back and I'll just do a quick debrief on the bike. Initial thoughts on it in this setup. Before we continue testing it long term. Right, so here she is. If you've not seen the unboxing video, let's go through the details quickly. It's a CC carbon frame, so Santa Cruz's top level frame. They don't do a C version yet. Big differences for this year are the head angle is 69.5 degrees, which is 2.5 degrees slacker than before. It's about one thing I didn't mention, a lot more tyre clearance this year. So 50mm if you're running single ring, 45mm if you're running double ring. You can run a twin ring chain set. You just need to bolt on a front neck mount there. You've got plenty of protection on that drop chainstay there. You've got fender mounts. Of course, you've got plugged holes for the cables there. You haven't got a rack mount. And to be honest, apart from the internal storage, which is in this glove box here, there's not much in the way of external bolt-on stuff, and that's a deliberate decision by Santa Cruz. They just think, A, they think it looks ugly and it adds weight as well. So, yeah, there's no top tube bag mount, and even if you go for the rigid fork version, there's no mounts on the fork either. You have got a bottle cage mount under there, but that level of filth will show you why I don't generally use a bottle cage mount down there for anything but tool kegs. But as you've got all your tools in that down tube, that's kind of redundant. Rest of the geometry, it's 30mm longer per size than the last one, so you know, you've got that extra reach, which means you can run correspondingly shorter stems. So it's a 70mm stem, so handling is going to feel a lot more familiar. See you later, Glenn.
See you later.
Handling is going to feel a lot more familiar to mountain bikers than previously. You've got 40mm travel on this RockShox Rudy fork up front. You've got 75mm of travel on this reverb axis there. And obviously, you know, the nice thing about reverb axis is it's all wireless, so it's all controlled. You got up, down, and then double tap to drop that seat post. And if you only drop it 10mm, it actually turns it into a suspension. Well, to be honest, anywhere from locked out at the top, turns it into a suspension seat post, which is a pretty neat feature. Though obviously it does add a fair amount of weight. So in this build, without pedals on, it's 9.6 kilos from a frame around 1300 grams. And to be fair, these Ramblers were all right. Again, they're not the fastest, but they were sliding predictably around the corners. They let me lean the bike over, and they didn't pop, which is more than can be said for the Renegades on the chisel that Ryan was riding. And as you've seen from the footage, Ryan had a proper digger in a corner. You know, I mean, obviously I was braking by the time I got to it, but it didn't feel like this bike would have gone at the same point. So one more to say. Oh yeah, Petey's Fidlock bottles were great as per usual. You know, you really need a secure bottle for gravelling, and that's the little Restrap Rab collab bag you got free for signing on for the Struggles. That's a really nice touch. That it's actually recycled from their old point of sale displays, so it's like fabric displays for shows and stuff like that. It's made into these bags. Oh, my little bell there was great. Probably didn't hear it on the film, but if you go into Ramblers and stuff like that, I seem to prefer a bell. And my hammerhead was good as well. Nice to have know just how much is coming up in terms of hills. So, first impressions then. I mean, significantly different to the old bike, even compared to the old bike running the same kind of Explorer rig. A lot more sure-footed, a lot safer. You can properly push it on descents now. That geometry has made a big difference. And also being able to put a bigger tyre in there, even with just a 45 over a 40, which I've been running today, but it could take a 50. That really, really helps kind of let you push that geometry, lets you help you push the suspension, because normally it's the tyres that are definitely the limiting factor. I'll certainly be interested to get it with a rigid fork on, some faster tyres in a 40mm, because as I say, as it stands, it feels a little slow and steady under power, which isn't surprising considering all the kit on it and the fact it has got 45mm tyres on. So it'll be interesting to take it back to kind of a similar spec to what I was riding the previous Stig in. That's the only real way to get a comparison as to how it delivers power. But so far, has been a hell of a successful first ride, and I'm really, really looking forward to putting some more time in on the bike. So massive thanks to Santa Cruz UK for sending me the test bike. Huge thanks to my standard channel sponsors, so Giro Cycling UK, PT's Products, Torque Nutrition, Enduro Bearings, Hebtroco and Crud XL Fenders, and of course my Patreon subscribers who pledge every month to support the channel, and that makes a massive difference in the sustainability of Guykes TV, and they get ad-free, early and exclusive cuts of my videos as a thank you. So if you really like what I'm doing with the channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. But for now, click to subscribe, click for notifications so you can see the rest of the series of testing on this bike, and give it a thumbs up like, because YouTube will then share it to more people. And of course, if you do your own bit, if you've enjoyed watching this far, then hopefully you'll tell your mates about it as well, because that really is the best way to spread the news about the channel. But for now, I've been Guy Kesteven at Guykes TV, riding the brand new Santa Cruz Stigmata Force 1 Reserve Axis at the Struggle Borderlands 100k gravel event. It's been an absolute belter. Definitely sign up for this one for next year if you like challenging but stunningly scenic gravel here in Swaledale.